You open your phone, scroll for a few minutes, and suddenly the world looks perfect. Everyone seems to be moving ahead of you. Someone just got a new job. Someone else is traveling somewhere fancy. And another person is showing off a romance straight out of a movie. And you? You're just staring at the screen. And that familiar question slips into your head. Why is everyone moving forward while I'm standing still? The feeling of being left behind, everyone has it. But no one admits it. But here's the real slap. The things that make you feel inferior every day are almost completely unrelated to real internal success. You're comparing yourself to what people display. Meanwhile, your life is shaped by the things no one sees. And if you don't realize this difference, you'll keep running a race written by someone else's rules. And you'll never win. I remember sitting in a gathering with some friends. Everyone took turns sharing what they had achieved: new jobs, new opportunities, ambitious plans that sounded impressive. When it came to me, I had nothing to say. No big project. No shiny accomplishments. No wow story. Instead, I had just gone through a quiet season, cleaning up my mind, ending relationships that no longer fit, and trying to understand myself better. All things no one sees. But that night, when I got home, I felt like I had just lost a major battle. I compared myself, blamed myself, and wondered, what am I doing wrong? And in that moment, I realized a truth that so many people are living through silently. They just haven't said it out loud. That's when I understood something psychology calls narrative conformity. Simply put, you're living by the script society wrote, not the script you truly want. You look around and see everyone following the life checklist: a stable job, obvious achievements, a nice relationship, and your brain automatically thinks, I had to be like that too. Not because you genuinely want it, but because you're afraid to fall out of the shared story. That's why even if you're changing on the inside, you still feel wrong, slow, or behind. But the problem isn't you. The problem is that you're using a measurement that doesn't belong to you. Here's something few people tell you. Your brain is in its biggest restructuring phase since puberty. The part responsible for decision-making, discipline, focus, and future direction is still developing. Which means every choice you make now, even the tiniest ones, is recorded by your brain as a pattern of operation for years to come. This isn't just a time filled with opportunities. It's a time that's incredibly moldable, but also incredibly easy to misalign. If you build the right foundation, you accelerate an entire decade. If you don't, you pay with time. The scariest part isn't doing something wrong. It's not realizing what you're losing. Every time you chase someone else's standard, you miss a better version of yourself, quietly, silently. That's the most dangerous kind of loss. The kind you don't feel until it's too late. And this is when things become interesting. Because behind your confusion, anxiety, or comparison, it's not your fault. It's that you haven't invested in the 3 invisible assets, the things that determine who you become in the next 5 to 10 years. No one teaches these in school. Parents never mention them. But the people who master them rise quietly but powerfully. Here's the biggest problem of an entire generation. We confuse markers with makers. Markers are the things that look like success. Titles, salary, a nice apartment, a stable-looking relationship. Makers are the things that create real success. Identity, core skills, energy management, long-term thinking. One just looks good. The other creates a good life. And the paradox is, the more you chase markers, the further you drift from makers, the things that actually shape your future. The irony? The harder you try to collect early achievements, the more you sacrifice what matters long-term. You take a job that sounds impressive, but it doesn't make you better. You stay in a relationship that looks fine, but it drains your energy. You try to appear stable, but you're actually building a fragile future. That's the early achievement paradox. What looks like winning today can be exactly what makes you lose later. So if early achievements don't define your future, what does? The answer lies in something most people overlook, even though it's the most valuable thing you have. Identity capital, the invisible assets within you. Not your title. Not your image. but who you become through your choices, skills, and habits. This is what compounds quietly over time and brings you opportunities others envy. To build a strong foundation for your future, you don't need 20 skills. You only need 3 pillars: the ICE method. I. Identity formation. Understand who you are, what you want, and separate yourself from others' expectations. C. Capacity building. Build core abilities, thinking, skills, and your ability to create value. E. Energy protection. Protect your mental, emotional, and physical energy, the fuel for everything. Simple, clear, and most importantly, a framework you can carry for life. Most of us enter adulthood with a default script we never chose. You work a job that sounds stable because everyone else does. You say yes to everything because you're afraid to miss out. You stay in draining relationships because you're afraid to speak up. You chase a fast-paced lifestyle just to look like you're progressing. An entire generation is living by the same invisible rules. Don't be different. Don't slow down. Don't look like you're falling behind. I lived that way too. Taking a job that looked impressive. Meeting the right people. Showing up in the right places. Yet feeling empty inside. My skills weren't growing. My emotions were crashing. My energy was drying up. This is the part where viewers look and whisper to themselves, "Yeah, that's exactly how I've been living." And that's when they realize the issue isn't personal, it's generational. This is the moment the video turns the camera back to the viewer. A small shift, but a powerful one. Have you ever felt like you're trying just to look okay to others? Have you ever chosen a path that made sense, even though your heart wasn't in it? Are you living based on what you truly want, or what you think you're supposed to want? These questions don't need immediate answers. They're meant to make you pause, look inward, and realize you're stuck in the same loop. Here, the video shifts into a grounded, mature message. To go far, you must accept a path that on the surface looks unimpressive to others. You must accept being misunderstood, judged, or asked, "Why aren't you doing what everyone else is doing?" And that's not a sign you're wrong. It's a sign you're building something deeper and longer lasting. This isn't cheesy motivation like, "Just believe in yourself." It's grounded in reality. The most sustainable people often go through periods where they look odd, slow, or off track. The distilled message: you don't need to be understood right now. You just need to be aligned with where you know you need to go. Now comes the part about uncovering your true values. Instead of living by the expectations of family, friends, or social media, this is when you dig into what you genuinely care about. The simplest method. Write down your 5 current goals. Then ask, "Why do I want this?" 5 times. Most people are shocked when they realize. Career goals are actually about wanting respect. Income goals are about not falling behind friends. Long-term plans are copies of someone else's expectations. This peels off the social layer so you can see your real self. Next, failure exposure, training yourself to face small failures. If you don't break the fear of being wrong, you'll never try anything. The video suggests deliberately placing yourself in situations where failure is possible but harmless. Examples. Take a class you're not good at. Do something that scares you, like saying no or making a tough call. Learn a new skill where you'll definitely be a beginner. Why does this work? Because you're training your brain to see failure as data, not identity. This is crucial for breaking the image trap of youth. Then comes relationship inventory, evaluating your social circle. Divide your connections into 2 groups. People who give you energy. People who drain your energy. Then ask, who are you spending more time with? The video doesn't tell you to cut anyone off. It simply asks you to shift your time and attention toward those who nourish you. This fine-tuning of your social environment is one of the strongest levers for life change. The video now shifts from mindset to core capabilities. It highlights 3 meta skills that determine how far you'll go in the next 10 to 20 years. Deep work, the ability to focus deeply. The biggest difference between successful people and those who run in circles isn't IQ. It's how much time they spend in real focus. 30 minutes a day without notifications is more powerful than 3 hours of distracted work. Build this habit and you surpass 95% of your peers. Discomfort tolerance, the ability to handle discomfort. Young people often quit when things get hard. But all meaningful progress lies in deliberate discomfort. Stay 10 more minutes when you want to quit. Send the message you're afraid to send. Do important work even when you're not in the mood. Learning agility, the ability to learn fast and adapt fast. The world changes too quickly to rely on a fixed skill set. Try a 30-day skill sprint. Spend 30 days learning any new skill. The goal is simply to get through the "I'm bad at this" phase. If you can learn anything, you can't be left behind. Next, the video addresses the real engine behind everything: energy. Not time, energy. It introduces 3 practical systems. Attention hygiene, cleaning up your attention. Delete social apps from your phone. Use social media only on your laptop. Unsubscribe from low-value newsletters. This alone can give you back 10 to 15 hours a week. Recovery rhythm, a fixed recovery pattern. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a strategy. Set a mid-week detox. Have one work-free day every weekend. Build a daily energy ritual: walking, meditation, reading. Decision minimization, reduce unnecessary decisions. Tiny decisions drain your brain more than you think. Meal templates. A minimalist wardrobe. Automated savings. Morning and night routines on autopilot. Fewer decisions means more mental space for what matters. Then comes the proof of concept section. The creator shares. At nearly 30, when friends started burning out. One was exhausted and job hopping. One was struggling in relationships. One was lost. But by staying consistent with the ICE pillars, identity became clearer. Skills became stronger. Mental energy became steadier. Life became stable and calm in a way others couldn't understand. This storytelling reinforces the message. The system works. Finally, the deepest philosophical part. Psychological flexibility. Don't lock yourself into a rigid identity. Don't force yourself to fully know who you are at a young age. Flexible people thrive more than fixed ones. Depth relationships, deep connections over many. One real friend is more valuable than 100 superficial ones. Most people waste energy on the wrong crowd. Process over outcome, systems over goals. Results come from consistency, not bursts. 20 minutes of reading. 1 workout. 2 hours of deep work. Done long enough equals transformation. Long-time horizons, long-term thinking. The biggest mistake of young people, living on a 3-month cycle. Real success comes from thinking in 5 to 10 years. Choosing things that last. Avoiding shallow quick wins. The golden question. Will my 5-year future self thank me for this decision? After everything, the core message of the entire video is just one sentence. You don't need to change your whole life. You just need to start changing one small part of yourself. Choose one thing from the ICE method. One value to clarify. One skill to build. One habit to protect your energy. And just do it today. Not perfectly. Not when you're ready. Just start. Because in the end, action, not knowledge, is what carries you into the life you've always wanted. Remember, your real power isn't in what you know. It's in becoming the kind of person who can't help but succeed over time. If this video made you reflect even a little, leave a comment, like, and subscribe, not for me, but so the algorithm brings you more content that helps you grow. Start today, just one small step. The rest, time will take care of.